Hi guys, Dr. Nicole Gruhl here, and I wanted to have a conversation today about the stages of a note and the integration journey. I just got off a wonderful coaching call in our Agents of Awesome program, and the conversation came up about how to integrate what happens along that journey and some of the challenges that happen along the way, because it's an ongoing process that occurs. So I'm going to share with you a 5-stage process, and this was put together by Dr. Suzanne Brown, and she worked with Dr. Rhea White, who coined the term exceptional human experience several decades ago. And excuse me. And after many years of working together, Dr. Suzanne Brown put together a matrix with the 5 stages that they spoke about of their language of EHEs. And I'll be talking about notes, the non-ordinary transcendent experiences. So they're interchangeable here. So the 5 stages that occur, and she, in this matrix, put together 12 classifying features of each of those to put together a really comprehensive map. And, little did I know once upon a time when I came across this work, and I just dove straight in because it was wonderful and it really explained so much to me. Little did I know that one day I'd be talking with one of these original researchers. And this week I've just been having the most incredible conversations with Dr. Suzanne Brown. And it was a very joyful moment when I was able to gift back to her her matrix in a 1-page format that I'd put together so that I could understand at the time all of this complex information. Now, she'll be interviewed down the road in our Agents of Awesome TV program, so stay tuned for that. I really, really look forward to everything she'll be sharing about how she got into the field and her research there with Dr. Rhea White, which was just pioneering research at the time and a foundational piece in what is now transpersonal psychology. And of course where she's at now, and the books that she's written in the meantime and pieces of her story. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, today's talk, exceptional human experiences, or non-ordinary transcendent experiences notes, and the 5 stages that can occur. So, excuse me, the first stage is the initiating event or experience. So that's when the note actually happens, it occurs. We might be going along in our ordinary life, and then boom, something happens that is beyond our ordinary experience. So here we might be asking questions in this stage of what happened? Am I crazy? How can I explain this to others? It captures our attention. Then we move into the second stage, which is the search for reconciliation. Now, in this stage, we start asking questions. What was it that happened? Has someone else gone through this? Is there an answer out there to explain what that was, whatever that was? So we're testing, we're exploring at this stage that helps us cope often with something that is so outside of the realm of what we have been used to. So questions at this stage are, how and where do I find truth? Who else has gone through this? Am I special? Then we move into the third stage, between two worlds. Now, some people have described this to me as also, standing on 2 cliffs almost, a foot lodged in each world. There's the world of the everyday, ordinary life that has to be carried on and maintained. And then there's this other foot that is in, maybe it's other realms, maybe it's in this spiritual world, this other place that touches upon that note where there's a curiosity there, and also wanting to explore more about the phenomena itself and evolving with that experience too, but then also navigating the everyday life. And so this can feel like a straddling between 2 worlds. For some people, tolerating that can be incredibly challenging, as you have to have relationships and interactions and hold down work and carry on with that everyday life. In fact, I spoke to one woman the other day who, when I was talking about being between 2 worlds, she said, "Oh, I've been doing that for the past 40 years. And I was thinking, my goodness, wow, that's a lot to tolerate, holding that space between two worlds for 40 years. So in this stage here, an integration process is taking place. We are integrating content from one world with the other world. How do they meld and merge together? But often it can be an either or experience. I have to be in this one or in that one. Questions that arise in this stage are, which world is real? Where do I fit in? And what is the meaning? What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? Now, as we know, this can last a very long time, or for others, it can be a shorter process there. But for some, they will move into what is stage 4 of this model, which is called being in the experiential paradigm. And so now going from an either or state, this becomes an and both. Here, there's an understanding of the interconnectedness between and the interconnected whole that is occurring. Questions that can arise at this point are, where do I go from here? How do I share this with others? So now there's a bit more of an activation that is occurring at this point, and a movement that is awakening. And the final stage in this model is number 5, a new way of being in the world. So there's this wonderful series of pictures in Buddhism called the 10 ox herding pictures. And that's very much the final picture, where there's this old fat man, and he goes very jolly and barefooted into the marketplace. And the poetry says, and where he walks, wilted flowers just bloom in the trees. Sounds rather magical, but what this is really referring to is coming back into the ordinary world with the gifts. You might be familiar with the hero's journey, and this would be the final stage in the hero's journey as well, which is re-entering the ordinary with the gifts, with the boon. There's also that lovely phrase at this point called chop wood, carry water, which is a reminder of being back in the ordinary, how to be in the ordinary world after having had extraordinary experiences. One still must chop wood and carry water. So here, the experiencer is now forging a really purposeful path. This is what I call agents of awesome. Those of you that are in my program, and those of you in the Agents of Awesome community, you will know and understand that something awesome has occurred, something extraordinary has happened, and that can often awaken a desire to get into the world and be of action and be of service and to make the world a better place. So being in the world in a new way, being an agent of awesome. Questions that arise at this stage: how best can I serve? How best can I align to the universe / source / creation / whatever terminology it is that you prefer at that point? So that's it. 5 stages of the EHEs of notes. Again, I tend to be one to not stay too fixed to any one model, and yet having said that, maps can be very, very useful. You wouldn't go walking on Everest without a map of the terrain, and yet once you get over to the mountain ranges, there's so much that occurs right in front of you that was never on the map. So maps are wonderful as big picture possibilities of what can happen, and the reality of the lived experience is often far more complex, detailed, and with all of these other twists and turns that are unique to the individual. So, all right, having said that, hopefully you get a little bit of something out of that map, as I certainly have been. Okay. Stay awesome. Shine on, beautiful people.